Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Nancy from nancybadija.com and welcome to another episode of Etsy Shop Critique. Today I'm going to be doing a critique on the store named Say Rosie. So thank you, Sarah, for signing up for the critique. I really appreciate you taking the time to let me do a review on your shop. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is your listing. And then we'll go over your pictures and we'll go over the whole store completely. So I did a review on this picture right here, on this tumbler. And the first thing I have to talk about is photography. The most important part, one of the most important parts for you to get the sale is your photos. It's important that you take compelling photos of your product. And think about it this way: a bad photo could prevent you from making a sale, no matter how amazing your product is. So I know one of your questions was, do you think my items are worth buying? I do think your items are worth buying. However, the picture is not worth for me to click on it. That's the main issue. So if you look at this picture right here, this is what people see in the search engine. And the first thing they're going to look at is the picture before they look at the listing description, before they click on it, before they look at your store, before they review your reviews. The determining factor for someone to click on this is based on just purely the picture. And if the picture doesn't compel me to click on it, it doesn't matter what great product you have. It doesn't matter if it's made of real wood, if it's made of real gold, right? It doesn't matter because the picture didn't compel me to click on it. So therefore, for me to continue with buying your potential item, you have to think about it is, when was the last time you went shopping online, right? And you came across a bad photo. Maybe the photo was blurry, maybe it was too dark, maybe it was out of focus. And then you wonder, what am I buying? What exactly am I looking at? That's what I think about when I see this picture. I don't know if it's a stick of wood. I don't know if it's a bat. I don't know if I really wouldn't guess that this is a wood tumbler unless I read the description. But just simply looking at the picture, I really don't know what I'm buying. I mean, I can't even tell what you have for sale. So the odds are against you in this item, because if somebody was looking for it, because they can't really tell what the item is, even though this might be the perfect item for them, they're going to continue browsing and looking at other people's store, and they're not going to buy from you. And think about it like this, unlike when you go to a store. When you go to a department store, you could browse, you could look around, you could pick up the item, you could touch it, you could hold it, you could feel the texture with your fingers. When you have an online business, all you have is photography. So you do have to invest the time, whether it's getting a good camera, whether getting a light box. I don't know if you ever heard of them, but a light box, it looks like this. They actually run very cheap. You could go to Amazon and grab one. I actually have one in my house. And this is how it looks. You put the item in here. You take the picture. It has a nice clear background. It doesn't have like distractions in the background. You don't have to worry about having a shadow. And then you're able to take pictures in a complimentary way. You're able to make really nice thumbnails. But right now, looking at your product, unless they click on it, just on the base picture, you need to size this correctly. It's not the best picture, and it's also a little confusing on what they're looking at. So I will invest the time in redoing your photos for majority of your listings, looking at it, being critical of your own self and saying, does this if I was a customer, would I click on this picture? If I was a customer, would I buy this? You have to be very critical, look at it, and change it up. You have to make the picture like a grabber shot. It should be the best picture of the item. The first picture is the best one. Additional pictures, It should reflect like the different angles, detail of the item. You should size and scale so people know what the size is. You should do a style scene, so maybe having somebody drinking from it, or people sitting on the table and the tumblers right there on the table. That way people could get an idea of how it looks, and then have variations of the item. Do you sell it in different colors? Does it have different lids or things like that? But you definitely will need to improve your photos. That's the number one thing. Without the photos and the SEO and the listing description, those three are the major things. But ultimately, even though the SEO drives the traffic to your shop, if the pictures are not enticing, no one's going to click. So therefore, you're not going to make any money. Or if you do, you're not going to make the amount of money that you want to make, which is possibly quitting your job and doing this full time, unless you're already doing it full time. So make sure that you take the necessary time to learn about photography. There's so many products nowadays. There's so many apps. There's so many things you could do to improve the quality of your photo. Please take the time to do it. It's going to be so worth it. Number two would be getting found. So getting found is through search engine optimization, which is SEO. And how SEO works is basically you have to use descriptive words that describe what you're selling. So for instance, if I'm looking for a table, I'm not just going to type in on Etsy table, because a table could be just pretty much anything. It could be a dining room table. It could be a kid's table. It could be a lamp table, right? So I'm going to be very specific with whatever I'm looking for. So I might type in small blue table lamp, and that's going to pull the specifics that I want. And that's how you got to think how customers search for items. Now, using those relevant keywords, you use a tool called XCrank. I highly recommend using this if you have not signed up for them. All the links and anything that I suggest, I'm putting it below on this video. There's a little box, you click on there and it has all the links. And XCrank is free. You could also use the pro version. I use the free one and it works fine for me. And you could go in there and you could plug in your store, and it's going to tell you, it's going to show you all the information from your store. It's going to tell you if you have any words that are misspelled. It's going to tell you what listings are missing what, like images and so on. It's going to, you're able to do research for your keywords. It's so many tools. I recommend using it and taking the time to learn how to use it the proper way as well. So you have to make sure that you do your SEO, you do the groundwork, you take the time to learn SEO. If this is going to be a business, you have to treat it as a business in the sense that you have to put the time and energy to learn it. It's a little confusing, but once you start doing it, once you practice it every single day, it gets easier and easier, and then you'll start understanding what it means and how to find keywords and how to properly put the keywords in your listing. I also create videos on that. I have a couple of videos that I show you how I do my research, and those are really helpful for you to do your research on your next listing. So I highly suggest looking at those YouTube videos that I have. But as you can see, you have keywords that are too high. You have keywords that are too broad. This word right here, deer, that could be anything. That could be an actual deer. That could be a deer head. That could be deer stickers. That could be just pretty much anything. So it's very broad. And if you were trying to rank for that keyword organically, it's going to be very hard, because most likely if it's high in competition, that means a lot of people are using it. So if you were to search deer on the Etsy search results, you're going to see that 220,000 people are using the same keyword. So if you are trying to rank organically, which means that you don't pay ads, you just, somebody types in the keyword and you get found, you're not going to rank for that keyword. It's going to be almost extremely hard. If you were to run an Etsy ad, right, your cost per click is going to be really high, because when more people are competing for the same keyword, they charge you more in marketing or advertising. So it doesn't work with you either way. It doesn't work with you organically, and it doesn't work with you with ads, because it's not guaranteed that even if you run an ad, that you will be in the first page. You might be in the second, third, or fourth of Etsy, or even more deeper than that. So the chances of you getting found are also slim. They're very, very low. As you can see, there's no tumblers. When you wrote the word deer, I don't see other people using Tumblr. Now this one does have it, but it does have a deer picture. But they did put deer Tumblr. You see, you just have the word deer only. It's too broad. So if you are gonna advertise it as something as deer, why is it deer? Is it because of the wood? I was a little confused on that as well. Um, Maybe it's just me. Maybe because it's wood and that has to do something with deer. That's what I'm assuming. I apologize if I'm not understanding the coloration of both of them, of those two words. But definitely don't use that word. Change it. If you want to use a similar word, then you could do that, but just make sure that you type in something that's descriptive to your Tumblr. So I would put, like, if I was to do research, wood grain Tumblr, that's perfect. That's why this one is low competition. Is your BIP is the strongest keyword that's driving the most traffic. And if you were to search for this keyword on your Etsy rank, on Etsy, you will see that not too many people are using the keyword, and that's why it's a good one. It's 547 people or 547 listings. And as you can see, it does match your listing. It's a Tumblr made out of wood, and it does match because everybody else is almost doing the same thing. So that's a good sign that you are placing it with the right name of it. Definitely would work on your keywords. What you could do is that you could use the one that you're currently ranking for, which is the wood grain Tumblr. You could type it up here on keywords. You could search for new keywords and kind of see what you find. It is a process. It's going to take time. Sometimes it's going to be really hard because if you are in a competitive niche like I am, a lot of times you have to get very creative to find new keywords. So I do understand that it can be frustrating. But if you take the necessary time and find the right keywords, guess what? You will make more sales after you fix your pictures, of course. So it is worth the time. And if you want this to work out as a business, then you have to put the work behind it. So as you can see, this is the one that you currently have. So they have wood grain cup. I wouldn't use that one because it's not really what you have. I don't know what this word is, but it's a Tumblr. If you have something similar to that, you can use that keyword for later. Wood Tumblr. That's a good one. You see, it's low competition. Let's keep going. Guy Tumblr. I mean, you could potentially use that one if it's for a guy. I don't think it's a bad one. Sparkly Tumblr. So any other listings that have sparkle, I would use that one. But you see how we're finding keywords that you could rank for? Fishing Tumblr, if you have something that's similar to that. So this is what you gotta do, and you gotta keep doing it. And you gotta you write the good ones down, and then you go back and put something else. Deer Tumblr will get you more traffic, but if you just put deer only, it doesn't. You see, so these are things that you have to look at, and then you write those keywords. Let's say you got a good 5 right now. Then you go back up here and you get more creative, and you could put like, let's say you did have a picture of a deer and you put deer wood Tumblr, right? That was one of them I think that you had, and kind of keep doing that and see what else comes up. What other keywords can you find? And then you go through them again. So that's the same one you have. That's the one that we just talked about. Hunting Tumblr. You see? So that's another one that we found. Wood Tumblr. That's another one. I don't know about this one here. Camping Tumblr, if you feel like it fits that category. But you see how we're finding more? On deer skull, if you had like a skull, that's another one. So you got to keep doing that. Once you do the research, you put the necessary time, you get the new keywords, you want to make sure you put them in your title. You did a really good job with it already because you did put the keywords here. So you put the keywords there, you separate them by commas like you did. You put the most important ones in the front. So all the ones that are low in competition that precisely describes your listing, that's the one that you want to put in the beginning because it does send the highest SEO signals to Google or any search engine like Yahoo, Bing, and Etsy. So you want to put those in the front. You're not going to be able to put, as you know, all 13 keywords, but fit as many as you can. And then you're going to put the keywords in your description. You're going to make sure that you put the keywords in the first 160 characters. And then you sprinkle the keywords throughout your listing. And then you want to make sure, like you did, you use all your keywords in the bottom. In the future, if you're not aware, if you're not sure if you're placing your item in the right category, you could go to where Etsy rank, and if you go to category tool, you put the word Tumblr, and it will tell you where to put your item in. You could do that with anything that you sell that you're not 100% sure. The reason why I mentioned that is because if you have the Tumblr in the wrong category, that could also cost you a lot of sales, because there's people that search by keywords and there's people that search by category. So you want to make sure that both are set correctly. You did do yours correctly. The category, I already had checked it for you. So that's fine. I just wanted to bring it up just in case you have another item that might not be in the right category. So once you do that, I did want to mention that the first 160 characters here is what Google or any search engine shows to a customer when they search an item on Google and they find you. It's a snippet. So you want to make sure that the first 160 characters, one, has the keyword in the beginning of the sentence, and two, that you are writing an enticing, compelling, that they're going to go ahead and click on the actual listing. You want to make sure that it is compelling, whatever you're writing. So let me go back to the listing. Sorry about that. I was looking for that and talking at the same time. Let me go back to your listing. So this is what I'm talking about. So this part right here, get him something practical, fun, and masculine for anniversary or holiday. That one should have your main keyword there. And that's what people see, you see? So you did a good job. I feel like it's enticing. You're talking about what it is, it's fun, it's, and so on. So you want to make sure you put there, get this beautiful wood grain tumbler for him for the special occasion, for an anniversary, and so on. Something like that. Almost like what you have, kind of tweak it. Put the keyword in the beginning. Try to get the wood grain tumbler like a little bit more in the beginning, not so much at the end, because that's an SEO factor. It's just how Google or any search engine wants the keyword. The main keyword should always be like in the beginning of that sentence or in the beginning of the title. So you kind of want to push that keyword a little bit more up here, so Google knows exactly what your page is about. So therefore it ranks your page higher and you get more traffic. If Google doesn't really know what the page is about because there's too many keywords, too many, the title says one thing, the meta description has another thing, the listing description doesn't really have any of the keywords. It picks up some of the keywords, but it's not 100% sure. So your page doesn't rank as well. So you have to keep that in mind. And you want to make sure that you spend time creating an enticing meta description, because that's what the potential client is going to click on and potentially go to your page and buy. This is what they see in Etsy preview, which is what I was telling you earlier. It's cut off. It doesn't look attractive. I don't know what I'm buying. I don't know if it's a piece of wood. I don't know if it's a bat. I don't know if it's, molding from the wall, like wood molding. I don't know what it is. So if I don't know, you could just trust that the person that's shopping, they're not going to look at it twice. They're going to keep browsing and go somewhere else. So make sure that you work on the pictures once again. Now, once you do that, now you got the keywords. Now you have the meta description. Now you have beautiful images. I did forget to say for the images, make sure you add a call to action as well. So you could say, you could have one that has text, and you could say, click below to view click below to view listing description and view matching items if you have matching items. Click here and have like a little arrow pointing up to the heart and say click here to favorite this item. And the reason, I don't know if you noticed, but now customers get notifications of your shop anytime that you update a new listing, you lower your prices, you add additional listings to your shop. If somebody, a potential customer, either liked your store, favor your store, or favor an item, they automatically get an alert. So therefore driving more traffic to your shop. So if you tell people what to do, right, it's called call to action, and you tell them, hey, like my shop, hey, like this picture, most of the people will go ahead and do that. And that will give you more traffic later in the future. Even if you got like 10 additional likes per month, that's 10 potential people that could come back in the future when you have a sale or when you start adding more items. The X is notifying them, hey, your favorite store added more items. And they might click on it to kind of They probably forgot about your store or something. They click on it, go back, and then potentially get a sale. So make sure you work on that. Now, the next thing is the listing description. So the listing description is, to me, is essential because it's the final step for convincing that buyer to purchase your item. So you want to make sure that the listing description is very, very clear because this is going to either make the sale or not. So you want to make sure that you describe precisely what you're selling. You want to be detailed as possible. You want to make sure that your listing description is well written, that that people are first impressions are everything. That when they read it, they're encouraged to hit the buy button. You want to start with the most important details like how to order, what's included, the size, the color, the shape, the shipping policy, the return policy, the exchange policy, how to contact you. You have to make sure that you include all these elements. It helps avoid any confusion. It builds credibility with buyers. And the most important thing that we all want, it closes out your sale. You will make a sale. So you have to incorporate all these things together. Do not slack on it. Do not be like, okay, I'm just gonna just put the most important things and leave the other stuff out. Take the time to curate a really, really good listing description. You want to make sure that the listing description pretty much describes anything and everything the customer might have a question about. So if they have a question, they go in there and it's answered and boom. It also helps you eliminate unnecessary messages to you. You are still going to get people out there that don't read. They don't, because I get those a lot. And I describe everything in my listing description. You can't help it, right? But at least you'll have some less people communicating or messaging you about simple things that you could have added to your listing description. Now, I would divide it into sections, and then I would put like little headings. Like I would put description, and then you put the description, size, and then or size and color, and then you put whatever, and then you put shipping policy, and you put it there, and then you put return policy, and then you put it there. I will also at the end of the page of the listing description add a backlink to your home page. So this is what you would do. You go to your home page, you copy from Rosie down this section. You don't need to put this part. You put that on the bottom of your listing description. And what that does is that it helps keep the customer longer in your page. Hopefully you will. A lot of times when customers reach the end of the listing description, they click the back button. So you want to make sure you put something like, to enjoy more of my items, click here to view my items. And then they click on it and it takes them back to the home page where they could browse through additional products. It's just a way to keep them. You can also do sections like if you have similar items that go with that one or other wood tumblers that they might like. You can also put view matching items here or view similar items here and then put the link so they could click on it and view the other items. They might want to buy like a pair or buy one for like different ones and stuff like that. So it does increase your sales. It keeps them longer in the page. And the ultimate goal is the longer they stay in your Etsy shop, and the lower the bounce rate, the more chances of you getting a sale, hopefully, because they're staying longer, they're reading, they're learning about your shop. Hopefully they'll like your shop and so on. So you want to keep them as long as you can. So now you have the basics of when you create a listing, right? You have pretty much everything made. Another thing I would do is over on the overview, when you create the listing, you could add like what the materials are. If this is wood, I would put here wood as well. You have metal only. I don't know if this is metal and wood as well. I'm not 100% sure. But I will add all the materials. There are people out there that do read that. I feel like the more information you do, the more you optimize your page. Treat it as a real business. Take the time, the necessary time to use the tools that Etsy give you, to use all the features that they give you when you do a listing. That way you could precisely describe it to the T, and it gives more information to the potential customer. So therefore, hopefully they will click and buy from your shop. Now, the other question you asked me was about you updated your logo and your header. and you had questions about, does it look professional? I do think it looks professional. I think that you do have a nice logo. At least you have one. A lot of people don't even have one. It's really cute and feminine. I like the little. I like your. I know that this is your nickname. You said that that's your nickname, so it's pretty. So I do like it. I do like the glitter. I think it goes with it does go with your products, because a lot of your products do have well, some of them do have glitter, like these here. Maybe not all of them, but majority of them do. It really depends. I think that for it to be cohesive, like for it to look professional all around, it has to have a really nice flow. Like it has to be like when you look at all the items in your shop, I should be able to look at all the items and say, "Oh, this store, this item that I found in the search results, without looking at your name, is from that store. Say Rosie is from her store. I just know her brand. I know her look. That's what branding is. Is does everything have the same color scheme? That's what you gotta think about, the color schemes. So you could go to if you go to Creative Market, I'll leave you a link below. And on Creative Market, you could search for branding. If you search for branding, it'll give you a better idea of what it is, just in case you want to get some idea. So if you put branding, I think if you put branding kit, I think that will work better. They have some nice things in here that you could kind of see. So this is like a branding kit right here. And you don't have to buy this. I'm just showing you what a branding kit is. And it's basically having a cohesive look with the same colors. So this would be like what this package includes. It includes logos. It includes the round submarks, word marks. These are all things that you will add in your website, or you could add in your Etsy shop. And this is branding. You see, it all flows together. See, when you look at it on the website, when you look at it on a phone, it's cohesive. It's the same color scheme. The background colors are the same. The pictures are kind of the same. It flows really nice. That's what you got to look at it when you think about branding. In your shop, you have one picture has like a white background, another picture has like a shadow, another picture has like a different color, another one has something different. So you're at the moment you kind of getting there, right? Because you did your logo, so you're to a good start, but you do have to learn what colors go with what. So this is branding. All these colors are complementary to each other. The fonts are complementary. The background, the colors that you would put in your website, right? Or in this case, in your store. So what you have to do is now you have to come up with colors that go together. See, like these will be complementary, so they would use these pictures. You wouldn't use the other ones because these are more of these natural, neutral colors. That's what branding is about. So you have to make sure that your listings, I apologize, I went to your social media, your listings, the background, they all have the same colors. They all have to, if you're going to make them all white, then they all have to be white. It can't be like white and then right here it looks like a blanket, I guess, and the here is dark, and then you have like a shadow here. It has to be cohesive. Another thing you could do is you could brand your picture. You could put like your little logo in the corner, or you could have your name on the corner. That's branding it. That's making it look cohesive. These pictures, as you can see, you have a white part here for the picture, and then you have like a darker color here. And then your other pictures don't do that. So you have to make sure everything flows together correctly. I think that your logo is pretty, and I think that this is nice. But in the future, because you are expanding your brand and you're adding additional things like the shirts and other stuff, it will be more beneficial, in my opinion, especially because you're doing the Etsy Plus, having the rotating banners here of the different items you sell. And if you were to look at the most prominent stores out there, right, they build a beautiful cover photo. Like they have in their cover photo, they have their website address, they have their social media links, they have their when they're open, when they're closed, how to reach to them. They take time and they don't overlook small details. They fill out everything. Their about me story, they have pictures of themselves, they have picture of their creative room, where they work at. So you want to make sure that you don't make the mistake like everybody else makes a mistake to overlook these items, because a lot of people don't, they simply don't treat Etsy like a real business because it's an online business. But it is a real business. There's Etsy business out there that make 1 million a year or even more. So you have the potential to do that, especially by adding more products and improving your pictures. You just have to kind of tweak it a little bit more. Definitely work on your branding. You have to work on it. It doesn't look unprofessional, but does it look like professional in the sense that everything flows together? The pictures are very nice. That I go to a shop and I have to favor the shop and I want to get this. It doesn't look that way to me. Can it look that way with your products? Of course it can, because you do have nice products. I think it's just photography is all about the photos. I don't know if you've seen pictures out there that you selling the same thing they are, but they have like triple the sales that you don't have, but it's because of their photography. Now there is a company called Watify, and I'm leaving the link below as well. And if you ever have doubts about photography or what's working, what's not working, you could sign up for free for first 30 days. If you end up doing their subscription, I think it's between $5 and $30 a month. They base it on the income that you make on Etsy. So if you're not making a lot of money on Etsy, they won't charge you a lot either, which is a nice thing. I think it's a good way to, it's pretty even. They won't charge you a lot of money if you're not making any money from it, basically. But Watify, what they do is basically they take the first two pictures of your listing. And what they do is in the course of 30 days, they switch those two pictures back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And at the end of the 30 days, they give you a data. And the data reports to you what picture did better. What picture were people more attractive to? What did they click on? And what got you the most sales? So you could always do two pictures. You could do one with a white background, just a clear, crispy white background, really nice. And maybe you could do another picture of someone holding the tumbler, like a style scene picture. And then you can kind of see which one works better. And then from there, that could be your determining factor of, okay, these pictures do way better. I got more sales. And then you switch them to those pictures. The nice thing is you could do the 30-day trial for free at first. And then if you like them, then you could sign up for their services. And they don't charge, you don't need to put a credit card or anything to do the 30-day trial. So I would highly recommend trying it out and see what works for you. Only do it once you fix the pictures. Don't waste your time doing it now. Fix the pictures first. Put as many different pictures as you can and then test out those pictures to see what works better for you. Another thing I was going to say is your sales. You have the option under your dashboard to close out the sales so no one sees what you're selling. I love when other shops have their sale option open, especially if they're my competitors, because I could spy. I could go in there and see what exactly they're selling. Now, I keep mine closed because I don't want no one spying on me. I don't want them to know what are my top sellers. So it just depends on how you feel. It's not something you necessarily have to close. I'm just suggesting that you close it out. That way other people don't know what you're selling. It's definitely up to you. It's not going to increase your sales, whether you have it on or off. It just, for me, it's just more of people copying me. So that's just a suggestion I wanted to bring up. So looking at your overall store, let's say you do all these changes, right? And you do the cohesiveness and you do the pictures and you fix your SEO and now you have everything done. You have pricing correctly done. I think that your items are relatively priced okay. I think some items are a little bit higher than they should be, but I also can't sit here and tell you they are because I don't know the time and labor that you take. And a lot of times, many people make the mistakes that they're not making sale and they go really low And I don't think you should do that either. I think you should you should price your items to cover your material, your labor, and profits after fee. But don't ever lower your prices because someone told you they're high if you know you're spending all this time making it. Only you know that. I don't know that. So I can't judge you on that. Did I find other listings that were cheaper than yours? Of course I did. However, it just depends on the time it takes you to do them. And if it's very time consuming, I would just leave the price how they are. Now, once you do all this and you do all these changes, it's very important that you pay attention to your key performance indicator. That means that you pay attention to what is working and what's not working on your shop. Etsy provides you web analytics. You can also connect your store to Google Analytics. I have a video on that. And it's important that you do that. It's important that you measure and analyze your store on a quarterly basis. I do mine every month. And the reason why is because the more you get to know your store, the more you understand your conversion rates, your sales, your metrics, what's working, what's not working, what you have not sold and you had it for a whole year in your store. The more you understand that, the more you understand your target audience, the more money you will make. You cannot grow your Etsy shop if you never examine your Etsy metrics. If you don't have a clear understanding of what's selling and what does not sell, you're never gonna make $500,000 or more, or even six figures. You're not gonna get there because you have to measure what's working for you. And then my biggest mistake I did before that I tell people to do is focus your energy on the listings that are working for you versus the ones that are not. So if you have an item that you sell and it's one of your top sellers, put that one on the top. Feature that item up here. And then create or develop like a robust line around it. So if you have a mug that you sell the most, make a tumbler that matches the mug. Make a t-shirt that matches the mug. Make a coaster, or whatever your skills are. Make anything that matches that particular item, because the chances are you probably will sell them as well, especially if it's one of your top contenders. Don't spend unnecessary time on listings that are not making you any revenue, that you've been having for a whole year, that you tweaked it, you changed the SEO, you did this, you did that, and you still are not making any money. Keep in mind that when you do SEO and you change your keywords, it could take up to 30 days for the stats to update on your Etsy shop. So it doesn't mean that if you change it, your listing is not showing up, because if you were to put in the keyword, you'll find that listing, let's say if you rank on page 1. However, the stats, your Etsy stats, will not reflect the actual views and all that stuff. It does take time, so don't get discouraged and don't feel like, oh, I changed the SEO and it's not working. It just takes time for the robots to crawl the Etsy search results. There's so many stores, millions of stores, people changing things constantly. So it does take a while for Etsy to report that back. It doesn't necessarily mean that your listing is not in the page 1, especially if you did the SEO correctly. Because if you did it correctly, you could search it in the search engine and you'll be able to find it with no problem. So just did want to go ahead and encourage you to do those changes. Let's go ahead and look at your social media real quick. So this is your Facebook page. I do like this cohesive with your Etsy page, because you have the same logo. You created a kind of like a little banner. I like the fact that at least it fits your Facebook page. A lot of people, the banner is cut off. I would definitely work on a banner on both pages. There's a company called Fiverr. I will leave the link below. You could go in there and hire someone to do a banner for you for as low as $5. And they can also size it for you for Twitter, if you have Twitter, Facebook, or any other like Google Plus, any social media platform that has a cover profile picture and a cover picture. I did want to show you this. Like, these are products in your store. You see how blurry the pictures are? No one's going to click on that. Because, I wouldn't click on this. It's blurry. I don't know what I'm looking at, especially these two right here. These are kind of I know what I'm buying, but then it's also very hard to, it's so unclear that I wouldn't want to click on it. So you want to make sure that anytime you post something on Facebook or you post a link and it auto populates for you, does it look good? If it doesn't look good, don't put it. Really, don't waste your time with it. Now when I click on it, it does show the product a lot better, but this is what they're seeing first before they click on it. It's like a little carousel ad. So in my opinion, I mean, it just doesn't look good. Just don't do it because it's really not going to get you any sales. You could also, I don't know if you know this, you could optimize your Facebook page and add your Twitter. You could add your Instagram in here. You could add your Etsy shop. I have videos about this in your, right here in your, I guess, sidebar. And it's really nice because people could shop your Etsy shop without leaving Facebook if they don't want to, and they could buy from there as well. I would say post on a regular basis. You went from August 12th to yesterday, so you skip a couple days. Never post without a picture. I know this was a little bit different because you were talking about your twins and stuff like that, so that's a little bit different. But always keep in mind to put a picture. They do better when you do a post with a picture. That always does better. Make sure you do a call to action. Anything you post in your in here, you should always put click below to learn more, click below to shop today, click below to browse my Etsy shop. Anything, even these right here. You see how you put the mugs? You put a whole bunch of keywords. You put, your little enticing message, which is great. However, you didn't put a link to your shop. I mean, I don't see it. It does this click to your shop, and that's why. No, it doesn't. You see. So make sure that you do that. Now, this could be, I think this is a listing from Instagram, probably via Instagram. So I think that's why. This is the problem with when you post with Instagram and Facebook to save time. I don't like it. I don't do that at all. Because what happens is that with Instagram, you only could put the link on the top. With Facebook, it lets you put the link here so somebody could click on it and actually go buy it. So you want to make sure that you don't put them together. Just go in here and put your regular post here. Put your link here so people go shop at your shop and do your Instagram separate. I honestly never liked it that way because right now, if I wanted to buy this product, I don't even know where to go. Yeah, I could probably go in here and look for your listing for your Etsy shop or go right here. But a lot of people don't even know how to use Facebook correctly, especially if they don't have a business. So you want to make it very easy. Always think about it. You have to make it very easy and user-friendly. The more user-friendly your Etsy shop is, the more user-friendly Facebook is. The more easier you make it, the higher the sale. If they have to go through looking for the link and struggling, they're not going to even do that. A lot of people have problems with even staying longer than 10 seconds to view anything. If it doesn't catch their attention, they're not going to even keep looking at it. So you have to make it user friendly. This is really cute. The fact that you have like a little video of it or like a little, you're showing the product. When you do links on Facebook, I would use Bitly. It's called bitly.com. It shortens that link down. When you have it like that long, it looks a little bit like spammy. So if you go to, I don't know what this is saying now. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. I think it's bit. Okay, so if you go here, Bitly, I think I must have wrote it wrong or something. If you go here, you put the keyword, you put the link here, and it's going to create it smaller. So for instance, instead of me using, let's do this one real quick. So this is your listing. Instead of typing this whole thing, you see, like it looks like spammy. Instead of having it right there, you would go to Bitly. You put the link create. You put the link right there. You see how long that link is? Oh my God. You copy, and this is the new link now. And it still takes some. And the nice thing about Bitly, I will leave the link below, is that it tracks. So when people click on it, it tells you 38, like these are some of my links. It tells me how many people actually click on the link. And it gives you information on that link that you could use later on and see what people are clicking on, what people are not clicking on. And it's really nice because even though Etsy tells you 30 people came from Facebook, it doesn't really tell you what link they click on. You could have added 50 links per month on your Facebook page. That's why it's important, one, to use softwares, programs like Bitly, and that's why it's important to do Google Analytics, because Google Analytics is going to give you all that detail on how they found your listing, what keyword, where they came from, did they come from Yahoo, if they came from Bing, how they found you, where they're coming from. You need all that information, especially in the future if you want to target your target audience and you want to run ads for those people. So I will use the Bitly here to shorten that down. I will post on a consistent basis, and I will also share a story about who you are. Share your story. It's so important that you just don't post about buy, and you put post about my story, how you got started, why you have an Etsy shop, how you plan to expand it, whatever. But just talk about yourself. People want to build that empathy. People are emotional buyers. If they, like, I just had a baby, and the fact that I read about your twins, it made me think in my mind. I didn't say it out loud, but I said, oh, she got twins. I just said that while I was talking to you in this video. So people do react when they see things like that, because they can relate to you. If you say I'm a single mom, single moms are going to relate to you. If you say I'm a mom of two, or I'm a mom of twins, or I'm a new mom and I still work in Etsy and I'm trying to do all this stuff, people relate to you, and most likely that will help increase that sale. So I would definitely work on putting a backstory on who you are, how you got started, and sharing that in your Etsy shop as well, and as well as your social media as well. You do have this section here, which is nice. So you do have something, and you share a picture of yourself, which is beautiful, and you have other pictures. My only concern is that your pictures are very unclear. I don't know what I'm looking at. I think your picture is actually the best one. Even this one is like cut off. So you have to really work on that. And the more you work on it, the easier it gets. And another thing is your social media, your Instagram account. I do like the fact that you keep your name all across. Let me see this. I didn't click on this earlier. Okay, perfect. So it takes you to your Etsy shop. Perfect. You can also use Linktree. I use that for my Instagram, and you're able to put a link here. They click on it, and it takes them to, this is my Etsy account, my Instagram account, and it takes them to different links so you could send people to your Etsy shop. You could send them to your YouTube channel if you have one. You could send them to your Pinterest account and different places, and it's really, really nice. And it's free, or you could use the pro version that you pay a little bit more. But this is how it looks when somebody clicks on it and they just go to one of my pages. And it also tracks on what people are clicking on as well. So that's a nice feature. Continue to post on a regular basis. Also work on your pictures. Make sure that they look good. Make sure that they're clear. Separate this here and here, like the caption and the keywords. You could do this. This is what I do in mine. Let me show you. I put dot, 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 and then put the keywords. It's easier for people to read. It's not all mumbo jumbo together. So it's important to do that. Make sure that anytime somebody takes time to respond, they take time to like something, respond back to them. I do see a couple here that you are doing that, so that's great. Just keep doing that. Always go back and like people that follow you. Show the love that, that they took the time to follow you and look at your store. Make sure that you start working on branding. Does everything flow together? It really does. And you have pictures that are too, like, this is too dark in the background. Make sure everything is cohesive. Like if you look at mine, it's not perfect. I'm not going to say mine is perfect, but everything flows. I have the same color scheme. I have the same templates that I use. And I also have this company here. I will leave the link. It's called Style Stock Society. And you could buy pictures from them to use on your Instagram, on your website, on your Etsy shop, or any social media. And she sells beautiful images that you could put text on top of them. These are some of the ones that I got from her shop. And she has a massive collection for a reasonable price. So I would highly recommend looking at it so you could start creating a really nice, appealing branding your business with all the right colors. Everything flows together. But you could do that, and make sure you share your story. Make sure you share pictures of yourself. I know that I saw that you have pictures of your boys, which is really great. And keep doing that because people want to build that relationship and they want to know who you are behind your store, basically. One thing that you didn't send me was your Pinterest account. I don't know if you have one or not. I highly recommend that you get Pinterest. Pinterest, I think from all the social media, Pinterest is the best for Etsy sellers. I grew my account. This is one of my accounts. I grew this account in 3 months while being pregnant, giving birth, and having a newborn to 261 monthly views. In the beginning, I was getting about, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was like 13 clicks from Pinterest. Now, for the month of July, I got over 946. That's in 3 months. I went from 13 clicks, then I went to like 600, and then I went to 943. Hopefully, this month I'll get like 1,500 clicks because I'm already at 705, I think. It was around there when I checked this morning. And it's really, really easy. All you got to do is pin your items in here. What I do is I create boards and I put all my pins on the top. And then I do pin other people's stuff. I do like 1/3. But I put that on the bottom. That way all my stuff is on the top. And just keep pinning. And what I use is a program called Tailwind. And Tailwind is really cool because you tell them what pins you want them to repin throughout the day, and they pin it at the best time when more people are prone to click on your actual listing. And I'm telling you, I'm trying to grow this account to 1 million views, monthly views, and hopefully that will mean that instead of me getting, let's say, 1,000 clicks to my shop, I will hope that I will get at least 5,000 clicks if I'm getting one monthly view. So hopefully that will be another case study. I'm really working hard on this because it is working out for me, and it's something that I tell everybody to do because the potential to grow it is there. I mean, I have done it. So make sure that you do a Pinterest account. I have a video on how I grew my Pinterest. If I talk about it too long, this video is going to be here forever. So just make sure that you find that video on my YouTube channel that you're watching right now. But these are my suggestions for your store, Sarah. I really hope that you change the few items that I told you about. I think overall you do have great products. You just need the little changes here and there, and you'll see a big difference in your sales, and hopefully you'll increase your sales and have a very successful shop. So if you have not done so and this is your first time watching this video, make sure that you subscribe to my channel for additional Etsy videos, social media videos, branding, how to make money online, and etc. On my videos, I really try to show all the tactics that I use, whether people agree with them or not. I really try to go beyond and explain everything to the best that I can, my best ability. Make sure that you like this video, and I appreciate everybody watching. Have a good night.